Hello everybody, this is Mr. Bin, and I will be helping you with your final exam. The first one I want you to know is that 6a squared plus 7a minus 3. In this case, they're asking you for a factor. So this is a review of Algebra 1b, where you had to factor. And in this case, you would say 3 times 2 is 6, and then 3 times 1 is 3. When you crisscross multiply, you get 6 and 3. This will not get you 7. So I mix the numbers up a little bit, and I go 2 times 3 and 3 times 1. If I see that, that would be 3 and 2. 9 and 2 will get me 7. So I'm going to write these numbers exactly like they are. 2 and 3 and 3 and 1. This here has the A. And here, since this is the 9 here, I want the 9 to be positive and the 2 to be negative because I want the number to be 7. So I want the 2 to be negative. In that case, the 1 here would have to be a negative because 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So this would be negative here, and this would be positive. So the factor that you're going to see on the test will be this one. They will ask you if it gives you one of these, and this one will not be on the test. It's just not there. It's not one of the choices, but this one will be. So you want to look for this test, for this answer. Okay. For question number 2, similar. It's negative x squared plus 70x minus 600. And on this one, you want to do the same thing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this so it's a positive, and this would be negative, and this would be positive. So I'm running a negative through all of the answers here. And then I'm going to say this is going to be x and x, and this is going to be 60 and 10. Because 60 times 10 gives me 600, and negative 60 and negative 10 give me negative 70. Excuse me, this is the 10 here. And they're both negative. So what you do here is you make this equal to 0. So the answer would be 60. And you make this one equal to 0. So the answer would be 10. So there are two answers here. 10 and 60. So you want to find the answer that says there are 10 items and 60 items. That is the answer for this one. The next one would be number 3. And I'm going to show you the picture of this one. And then I am going to work it out. Actually, you know what? I will work it out here. I will work it out while showing the picture. The idea that they tell you here in this question is that this is a garden and this is a walkway you have to walk around. They tell you that the area of the whole thing is 192. So how much is the width? Well, if you look here, this is 12 here. And this is x, and this is x. So the width here is 12 plus x plus x. So the width is 12 plus 2x. The length here is 8 plus x here and x here. So that is 8 plus x means it's 8 plus 2x. And that has to give me 192. So what I do here is I multiply 12 times 8 is 96. 12 times 2 is 24. Don't forget the x. 2x and 8 is 16x. 2x and 2x is 4x squared. That has to give me 192. I'm going to clean this up here. This is going to be 40x. 4x squared. 96, I'm going to bring 92 to the other side and make it minus 192. I'll make it 96 minus 192 equals 0. That's 4x squared plus 40x. And 192 minus 192 and 96, the difference there is going to be negative 96. Now divide everything by 4. You will get x squared plus 10x minus 24. Now I'm going to factor like I've done in the previous two problems. And it's going to be x and x. Now what two numbers give you 24 multiplying, but also give you 10 when you subtract? And it's going to be 12 times 2. One of them has to be negative, but the bigger one has to be positive because the subtraction has to give you positive. So I'm going to make the 12 positive and the 2 negative. Now, when you solve this, you need to say x plus 12 equals 0. And also this one, x minus 2 equals 0. X, just subtract 12 from both sides. Let me show you here. X equals negative 12. And here, x equals 2. Now, which solution would you choose? Well, x here is a distance of the walkway. It cannot be negative 12. It doesn't make sense. So I will disregard this, saying, thank you, math, but that's not real life. The answer is going to be x equals 2. That's the answer. So that was number 3, the walkway. X equals 2. That's the answer for number 3. Number 4, you have this. Okay. Again, another factoring problem. I'm going to bring 12 to the other side. And then I'm going to divide everybody by 2. Two numbers that give me 6 and subtracted give me 1. It's 3 and 2. This is the negative. This is the positive. X minus 3 equals 0. X equals 3. X plus 2 equals 0. X equals negative 2. The answer that you will see is negative 2 and 3. For number 5, and I have 4 more problems to show you. 6 more problems to show you. Here is the question. I will show it to you here. They want the average rate change between f of x, between this, that x is greater than negative 2, but x is less than or equal to 0. So they're looking at this part here. They're looking between x is here, negative 2, all the way to 0. This is what they're looking at here, only that part. What's the average change? Well, here they went down 6, and then I went down another 4. So I went down 10. And what is this here? It went down from 2 to 1 to 0, so I went down 2. So the f of x, the y, went down 10, and the x went down 2. 5. That's the average. This one went down 6, and this one down 4. The average is they went down 5. I made a mistake here. It didn't go down 2 here. It went up 2. So this is a plus. Sorry. So it went down 6 and 4. It went down 10. And here it went up 1 and up 1. So it went up 2. So the answer is going to be negative 5. If you look at here, that's your letter B. It's number 50 on the test. It's going to be letter B. All right. The next one is number 51. Number 51 says, what happens to x? What happens to y as x changes? So I look here, this is negative. So as the x gets bigger, let's say this is 0. This all cancels out, and this would be 1. But when x is a big number, this is a big negative number. If x is a negative, this would be positive, but then I'm cutting it by a quarter. So it looks to me like as x gets bigger, y goes down. Because this is going to be negative. It's going to keep going down. So I'm looking at as x increases, f of x decreases, or this one. I'm looking at B or D. Now, what happens as x decreases? As x gets smaller, like a negative number, if x were a negative number, then this would be positive. So as x decreases, y increases. So as x decreases, y increases. So the answer is going to be D. That's for number 51. It's going to be D. Okay. On number 52, what's going on here? Well, let's say n were 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 6 is 8. Now n is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 6 is 10. So it can't be this one. So I'm trying to put different numbers in here to see if they give me these here. Look at this one here. When n is 1, 1 squared is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. That's this one. When x is 2, what happens? 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. When n is 3, 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. So the answer is going to be C. 2n squared. That's the formula we're using, letter C. Okay. On number 53 is something we did last semester, and that is, you guys remember, same side. These are not corresponding angles. They're same side interior. So you can even see this one's like more of an obtuse angle, and this is more of an acute angle. The same side interior are supplementary. What does that mean? That if you add both of these here, they're going to give you 180. 4x and 1x is 5x. 40 and 10 is 50. Subtract 50 from both sides. Divide by 5. X is 26.